Hey everyone, Dr. Frunky here with a very interesting new knife consult for you on the Anthony Griffin Custom Knives Monster. Now, you may be wondering to yourself, oh, that's just another knife there on the screen. Well, why don't I just go ahead and bring out a Spyderco Paramilitary 2 for a size comparison. Yeah, that's right. This monster is absolutely monstrous. This is a full custom handmade piece of gigantic mega knifedom right here. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get it all on frame right here. An absolutely massive knife. This comes to me by way of our good friend Gavin Reddig on Instagram. He is an active member of the knife community, an overall nice guy, and he loves ridiculously, massively overbuilt and oversized knives. And so I actually got to handle this knife at the Blade Show. If you followed my Instagram feed, perhaps you saw that I did actually meet up with Gavin and I bumped into him and he had this in his pocket. Now, bear in mind, this knife weighs about 2 pounds in overall weight. I think Nick Shabazz did an excellent job of talking about this knife when he broke it down and he cleaned it up and then he did a review of it as well. I can't really add too much. He did an excellent job, but I wanted to thank Gavin and I wanted to thank Nick, who sent this knife to me right after he got done playing with it. So I wanted to just get this on my table, do my thing with it, and get a chance to really see what this knife was all about. It was all too brief, the time that I got to spend with this at the Blade Show. So let's go ahead and get some vital signs on the monster right here. It is considerably longer than 1 foot. So if I can maybe try to measure this out, we're looking at about 12 inches right about there. Maybe another 2.5. We're looking at maybe like 14 or 15 inches right here, maybe 15 inches in overall length. I think another impressive dimension right here is going to be the width. I will go ahead and use the calipers to get an exact measurement on there, but it is just an incredibly thick thing coming in at an entire inch of thickness. And yes, indeed, this blade stock is actually 0.5 inches in overall length. I'm going to go ahead and bring that up there. So that is the actual thickness of the blade stock right there. Unbelievable. An inch thick, half an inch blade stock. And I don't even, it's not even worth bringing my scale out here. I don't think this thing goes up much beyond a pound. So this is just going to make this thing go error, overload. Yep. So I think Nick measured this out at about 2 pounds. So absolutely ridiculous here. So let me bring out another couple of knives for a size comparison. At the beginning of the video, I brought out the Paramilitary 2 just as a funny size comparison. Here is a Mass Drop and Ferrum Forge Falcon. Has a similar overall finish work to it, but obviously a very, very tiny knife. That is the thing. If you go and watch Nick's video on this knife, you'll notice that he just laughs uncontrollably all the time, and you can't help it. When this knife is on the field along here with my Shirogorov F3, it's just impossible not to laugh at this thing because it's absolutely massive. I want to bring out, let's have an interesting juxtaposition right here. Let us bring out a Scott Cook Loxa. This is just for fun. This video is for fun. And this comparison is for fun. Here I have my F3R, one of my biggest knives in my collection, absolutely dwarfed here. And right here I've got the epitome of a fine art knife with mother-of-pearl inlays and 14-karat gold thumb studs. And it's just an unbelievable thing. Different people want different things from their knives, and what a time we live in that all of these things are available. So let's go ahead and break this knife down anatomically and see what we are looking at. Up front is that massive blade of D2 steel done in a gigantic harpoon tanto with a flat grind on the primary bevel, which was probably a poor choice for a half-inch blade stock. But you know what? If you need this thing to function as a pry bar or a doorstop or a machete or a hammer, or a spike for your tent, it will work fine for all those reasons. I will say that deployment is not really ideal with this thing. I wish that this was easy to open with the thumb. It's not. I wish that this was easy to Spidey flick. You can do it if you're holding it with two hands. But you can grab the blade and open it two-handed. But I think that this knife is most easily opened by just dropping it towards the ground, and the detent releases the knife blade right out. It's actually a very smooth action, so we can go ahead and move back and talk about the pivot. It runs on phosphor bronze washers, gigantic phosphor bronze washers in there that Nick showed in his video. Lockup is good. I mean, it's on any other knife this would be 200%, but here it's 5%. So it's nice. There's a little bit of lock stick, but it's not all that bad. Sometimes a little bit of lock stick is not a bad thing. It means you have a secure lockup. Certainly with a blade that weighs a pound, you would want there to be secure lockup, because as you can see, this thing is the definition of a finger guillotine. It just drops down. Now, luckily, Anthony has built this in such a way that the blade does not come very close to the back of the knife here, so you're pretty safe. But this thing is far enough apart that literally all of Nick Shabazz's body could fall into this crack. He is that small. His hands, don't worry about his hands. His entire arm and half of his upper torso would fall into this crack. It's so wide. So you could theoretically, you can just touch the blade doing that. But, this is a ridiculous piece right here. This is just meant for entertainment. And you know what? If you want to carry something like this, go right ahead. That is your prerogative. This is a whole lot of fun. This knife is not to be taken seriously. However, what I will say is that Gavin is a very cool guy for letting us take a look at this. I wanted to share this with the community. Anthony Griffin does make some very fine custom knives himself. They're all sort of overbuilt and oversized. This one is obviously huge for the sake of being overly huge, but he does make functional oversized knives. So go and check out his work. Obviously go and check out Nick Shabazz's videos on this knife. He did a very good job of sort of capturing the ridiculousness here. Really, this brings joy to me in a lot of different ways. Just because it's a huge knife. I love folding knives, and this is just a comically oversized knife, and it makes you laugh, it makes you smile, it makes you appreciate the things that are good about it, because it's actually quite smooth. The lockup is good, the finish work is great. Obviously a lot of hand work has gone into this, and it's built to actually be strong and be a quality item, despite the fact that it's almost a comedy set piece. So it's really great that I got to get my hands on this. So tell me what you guys think of this knife down below. Go ahead and click like and subscribe to my YouTube channel here. Go over to Instagram and check out my friend Gavin_Reddig over there, REDDIG. Good guy. Check out Anthony Griffin Customs over there on Instagram. And as always, guys, this is Dr. Frunky saying take care.